I'm on Highway 395, about 20 miles outside of Pendleton, heading back into the Blue Mountain Range. In this trip, we're going to do 4 days, 3 nights at 3 different campsites. We're going to go to Olive Lake, which is about 22 miles off the hardtop, right when you get to the junction of the North Fork of the John Day. And then from there, we're going to head over to Anthony Lakes and maybe hike into Bear Lake, see what we can see there. And then the last night or the last day we're going to end up spending on the North Fork of the John Day. So really looking forward to this. It's been about a year since I've been on my last motorcycle adventure, and everything lined up just perfect. So out here in northeastern Oregon, just enjoying a beautiful 4-day. All right, we are here. We've got 28 miles of back roads to do, and can't wait to get started. I got about 15 miles left to go, and this road, I think it's Forest Service Road 10. It's just gorgeous. Nice and smooth, pretty hard packed, loose gravel, a little marbly action going on. But other than that, this is just gorgeous back here. Currently at about, I think, 4,500 feet, so I'm anticipating a pretty big climb coming up here pretty soon. So, but man, this makes the drive from Portland to Pendleton worth it. Not a problem. Right in from 395 on Forest Service Road 10 was pretty easy, nice and smooth, a little too much gravel from time to time, but other than that, pretty wide open. Only saw 3 other cars on the way in. So beautiful ride, really high pine forest, and just beautiful. Anyway, the campground at Olive Lake is, man, talk about family friendly. Kayaks, canoes, paddle boards, people fishing and doing a bunch of activities, but lots of kids running around. So it's a great place to just totally unplug and get away. So I've got just a little campsite just right next to the lake, maybe 100 yards. But so we're going to try and do a little fishing this evening, have dinner, just really relax and just enjoy being out of the city and back in the Blue Mountains. On my morning walk. Man, slept great last night, and this place is really gorgeous. So my impressions of Olive Lake, if you've got a family with little kids, 10 to 15, come up here as a family. It's just be a great place for your kids to unplug, get away, enjoy nature. The lake isn't very deep from what I can tell, and the kids were out in it all day. So on a family scale, Olive Lake, probably give it a 4 out of 5. Motorcycle camping, probably give it a 3 out of 5. And it's, a lot of families, and sometimes I just like being by myself, or Gus and I just off in the Tules. But it's a nice little campground. There's not a lot of services. You've got a restroom, no garbage, and no water. So pack it in if you're, and pack it out if you're coming up here. But let's see where we're going next. So we're here at Olive Lake. So this was about 28 to 30 miles just off of 395. And we're going to take off and continue on Road 10 all the way up here and then take a right. I think this is Road 5, I'm not quite sure, but into Anthony Lakes. So Anthony Lakes has got a ski resort. I'm probably sure we're going to have to go figure out how to camp off-grid, because I don't think with being the holidays, it'll probably be full. So, but I want to stop in. There's a hike I want to do, and it's Bear Lake. It's about 1.5 miles over here, just off the map. And I thought it'd be a good adventure to just go off the bike and go explore. And then after that, probably find a campsite and or someplace to camp and set up and just enjoy the evening. Well, just pulled out of Olive Lake, and now we're headed to Anthony Lakes. I think we've got about 13 miles on 10 in the gravel before we hit the thriving megalopolis of Granite, Oregon. So just beautiful ride. It's already 70 degrees and it's 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning. So going to be a warm one. We're sitting at about currently 6,000 feet, and gosh, just a beautiful, beautiful ride. It's nice to see the Oregon Department of Transportation has a sense of humor. So we'll watch out for Sasquatch on the next 20 miles. Well, we got out of the mountains and back on pavement. Ended up at the little town of Granite, and there's nothing there. Not even a place to pick up water and ice. So heading towards Anthony Lake, and there's from here it's about 50 miles to Ukiah. So tomorrow, after we do Anthony Lakes and Bear Lake, hopefully be able to pop back down on this road and then catch a cutoff into the North Fork of the John Day for the final day's travel. But man, I'm telling you, this is gorgeous back here. If you're a fan of just rolling through the forest, middle of nowhere at about 4,000, 5,000 feet, middle of summer, no traffic, the Blue Mountains, come on back. You know, this campground is really nice. I can see why people really come up here. Pretty high elevation. The lake is amazing, and it's just a great family great family place to come. So gonna head back to my camp spot number 21 and settle in for the evening, and yeah, try and get some fishing in the morning. See if we can't actually land a fish that's the actual keeper, and just relax. So more later. Good morning. It's day 3, and I'm taking my morning walk. I found the trailhead down by the lake to Black Lake. So it's about a mile in and a mile back. So from the campsite up and back, about 2.5 miles, and it's about 7 o'clock in the morning. So nice and quiet, and there's a breeze picked up. It's pretty windy and some overcast this morning. So it got pretty chilly last night, but what do you expect? It's 7,000 feet. So Black Lake, here we come. So I've done a lot of big game hunting back in Eastern Oregon, rifle and bow, and I'm telling you, this is a perfect place for bears and cougars, as well as elk and deer. Haven't seen either, but I have been announcing myself to make sure that the bears aren't around. Anyway, beautiful hike in. There's about a 400-foot elevation gain, and when you're starting at 7,000 feet, I had to take a couple breaks on the couple switchbacks there. But man, this is beautiful. Wow, great hike. Well worth it. It's about 1.25 miles from camp, and just a nice, well-maintained trail and an easy hike. Although you've got one section that's probably about a 400 to 500-foot elevation gain, and at 7,000 feet, I had to stop a couple times. But I'm telling you, getting back into the backcountry in Eastern Oregon really doesn't get any better than this. So I hope you enjoyed Black Lake and Lily Pad Lake on this hike. And I think it's time to get back to camp, pack up, and head for the North Fork of the John Day. Well, I left Anthony Lakes this morning about 9:15 and drove all the way into Ukiah, picked up some gas. And now I'm heading up the North Fork of the John Day. I gotta say, the Anthony Lakes is a great place. On a scale of 1 to 5 for just camping with families, I'd give it a 5. It's pretty nice. For motorcycle camping, I'd probably give it a 4. And that's if you were out just tooling the back roads and needed a place to be able to sit down and relax. There is a lodge on the lake that's got open for dinner and lunch 3 days a week, Friday through Sunday, and they have beer on tap and hot pizza. Amazing. I found home, but it wasn't as easy as it should have been. I went all the way to the end of this gravel road and then finally turned around and came back, peeked at a couple of sites, and ended up, believe it or not, at a Forest Service campground right on top of the North Fork of the John Day. So totally happy. There's no one here. I've got the whole campground to myself, and I'm going to get set up, and then I'm going for a swim. I've already stuck my head in the water just to cool down, and it's not that cold, and there's a nice little deep spot just right off the edge of the gravel bar there. So anyway, we're going to get set up and just relax. Man, that felt amazing. Nice to get jump in the water. It's not very cold, although you don't want to stay in too long. But man, nice to get rinsed off and all the dust and sweat and everything off after 3 days on the road. I'm going to be definitely down here tomorrow morning doing it one more time before I head back to Portland. It's 4 o'clock and I'm down at the water just enjoying a cocktail. Made a nice gin and tonic, kind of finished the 4 days, 3 nights out, and when I finish here I'm going to go up and get dinner ready. I noticed some high fluffy clouds that turned into some, maybe the beginnings of some thunderheads. So I checked weather on InReach and it looks like we might have a chance of rain around 3 a.m. this morning. So after I get cleaned up and before I turn in, I'm going to pre-pack as much as I can and put the bike in a position where if I have to pack in the rain, at least I'll only be doing half the job. The sun's heading down and it'll be dark in about another 15-20 minutes. And just taking a walk through the campground. Not that there's anybody here. I have the whole thing to myself, which is amazing. But just thinking about the last 3 days. Trip was amazing. Just another beautiful trip back into the backcountry of Oregon. I'm going to be getting up fairly early tomorrow morning and hitting the road. I'm supposed to get some rain tonight, so a little worried about that, but we'll get through it. It's about 40 minutes to the blacktop, I think. And so as long as the mud doesn't get too thick, we'll make it out just fine. I'm going to get camp cleaned up and turned in, and I'll see everyone in the morning. Good morning. Last night, totally peaceful, beautiful evening, no wind, and just was able to go to sleep with the sound of the North Fork of the John Day just rolling behind me. Northeast Oregon is an amazing place to ride. You've got the Blue Mountains, the Strawberry Mountains, the Wallowas, so just pick a mountain range and go explore. Great thing about Oregon is they've got a great park system. Forest Service has tons of places where you can stay, no reservations required. So get out, enjoy the backcountry, and enjoy a little solitude, unplug, and reconnect with nature. I hope this finds all of you well, and we'll look forward to seeing you on our next adventure.